Yo, what up? This your boy PJ back in another video. Back again with Dynamic Belief. I really hope y'all having a blessed day so far. It is a beautiful Monday evening. I cannot make this up. I really apologize for the wait. I came back with a special announcement talking about the podcast. This is our first episode of the new series on our podcast. Right? Shout out to our very first special guest coming on today. I cannot make this up. It's very about to be a new introduction. I cannot make this up. Right? So basically we ended off on our last series, right? Really talking about how to really deal with faith, how to feel with depression, how to really feel with certain things that were certain voids that was overtaking us. So we really coming in and really trying to give a different perspective, and not just from me, but hearing it from outside people. Because a lot of people think, okay, yeah, you can hear it from me. I'm only speaking from my experiences. But when you hear it from certain people that come on, certain ladies, certain gentlemen, certain billionaires that actually come to our podcast and really talk about the experience they've been through, then it might be more relatable with you, right? So it's not just coming from me. So I'm doing this for the people. We giving back. So I want to make sure we all are on one accord and we all getting the valuable information. All right, so without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce our very own first special guest for our new podcast, episode number 1, the Daisha Singletary Queen. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people know who you are, where you from.
Thank you. My name is Daisha Singletary from Conyers, Georgia. Well, I'm in the military. I'm in the National Guard. I've been in for about 4 years now. I'm also an actress, model, all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying?
You better stop playing with her because she coming out there for the magazine. She in the movie star. She in the stop playing with her. Grammys. She in the stop playing with her. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing started. I'm not going to hold y'all up, so let's get straight to the value. Let's get straight to the information. All right, so very first question. So our very first series, if you paid attention, we talked about really figuring it out. And the very first topic we talked about was really, who are you? So my first question is, when it comes to figuring out who you are as a person, do you feel like the process is more so of finding out who you are, or you creating a version of yourself?
Okay, I wasn't expecting that. All right. So I feel like it's a little bit of both. Say the two.
Okay, so it's really, so do you feel like it's the process of finding out who you are? A lot of people say, okay, I need to go find out who I am. I need to go take the time to really find myself. But, or is it really, I need to go take the time and really create the version I want to be and start the process of that?
Okay, yeah, it's both of them. It's both. Why? Because when you're finding yourself, you're finding like yourself. Yourself is not you, not your physical. Yourself is your inner. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Your spiritual. That's yourself. All right. So you need to figure out who that being is first, before you can do anything. Once you find out who that being is, then you can create whatever it is that you want, because you know who you are. You know who's in you, or what's a part of you, and then you create what you want.
Okay, so speaking to the people, do you feel like you actually found out who you are as a person, as an inner self, and start working towards creating that person?
I mean, it's developed. Like, it's developed. Like, you work on yourself. People should constantly, every single day, try to better themselves. That's what I'm in the process of doing now. You know, it's hard sometimes, but you gotta thug it out. But definitely, it's a development. It's steps. There's levels to this thing.
Okay. So do you feel like it varies between each person on their development is different? Like, is there a certain, I know it's hard to try to give a certain tip because it's coming from your experience, but everybody's learning is different. So you feel like it's kind of hard to give tips and really advice on how to actually find yourself since everybody is different.
I mean, yes and no. Like, everybody is different. So everybody's development or stages are different. Like, your struggles are different from my struggles. Or what you think is happy might be different from what I think is happy. Like, it's different. People are different. So.
Okay. All right. Excuse me. So leading to my next question. So our next video was really figuring out what exactly it is that you want. All right. A lot of people don't know really what it is that they want out of life. Whether you're at the age in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. Some people are still in their 40s and 50s and still don't know what they want for it. They still working a minimum wage job and just going with the flow. All right, let's go lead on to our next couple questions down the line talking about that. But so my next question is, so when did you figure out what you wanted out of life and how did you figure it out?
Ooh, when did I figure out? I figured out in 2021. No, when did we drop out?
That was January 2020.
2021, I figured out what the freak I wanted. I figured it out because I was just tired. Like, I experienced something new. Shout out to Forex, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to Trey House. But
Yeah, we coming.
it was when we dropped out. Like, when I was introduced to something new, something I never had before, like being around millionaires and going to big events with thousands of people. Like, that's crazy. Like, celebrating success with thousands of people is different. And you go from that to being confined in one building with a whole bunch of college students doing what college students do, have fun, party, all that stuff, but you experience life more than just partying. So it's like going from different places. Like, the transition is weird.
Okay, bet. Pretty simplistic answer. It's very not too broad, it's really simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and deal on to the next question. So what do you feel like is the main difference between living and existing in today's world?
Why would you just exist? Who wants to just exist in the world? Like, what? What's your purpose? Just existing? You're just going with the flow? You can't do that. That's not living. That's not living. It's going to California and flying in a helicopter for the first time, just for the hell of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's living, doing things and experiencing everything. That's living. Don't just go to work. Hold on, let me do the whole little schedule. You know what I'm saying? Go to bed at 10, 9, 11, around that time. Wake up in the morning, go to work for how many hours?
For about 8 hours.
8 hours. Alright. Work for 8 hours on your feet or sitting down behind a cubicle, like, then going home, getting something to eat, washing up, or whichever way you do it, and then going to bed and repeating the cycle 5 days out the week or 7 days out the week. Like, that's existing. You're not living. You're not. All you doing is going to work. You eating, going to work, and dying. Like, that's all you doing. Eating, going to work, die. Like, that's all you doing. That's existing. That's not how you live. You're not supposed to have that life.
Honestly, truly. So what do you feel like is some advice you can give to those people that really are really trying to put out there, like, okay, I've seen this podcast, I've seen this video, okay, I don't really want to be part of that category of just existing and going day to day being mediocre. So what are some things I can do to help stop me from being just existing?
To help stop just existing, I mean, get the hell up, respectfully. Get up. Like, what? Get out of that habit. You have to not be afraid of losing something, because that's life. Life is, you're gonna lose things. You're gonna lose people. You're gonna lose animals. You're gonna lose flowers. Flowers die. Like, you have flowers in your house, you're not gonna keep them all year unless, you know, flowers die. So you lose things. That's life. You gotta, don't be afraid to break out of that cycle. You gotta be able to break out of any cycle that you're stuck in. That work cycle. If you don't like that job, if you know for a fact that you do not want to be working at McDonald's, you'd rather be somewhere on flying somebody's plane. Why are you working at a McDonald's job if you want to be flying a plane? That don't add up. Unless you want to work at a McDonald's in the airport. I mean, that's close, but that don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So break out of that cycle of doing the same things, of having the same habits. Don't be afraid to lose people. Cut friends off. People that you know are no good for you, cut them off. Let them go. They're no good for you. You gotta break them. Break the cycles.
Got to. Okay. Excuse me. So, I noticed that when we're talking about existing, a lot of people really go to day to day, and it's like, okay, I see myself changing a little bit, but I'm not as consistent. And like a couple days later, I see myself going back to it. So, what do you feel like is a good way to really stay consistent with really going after what it is that I actually want?
Okay, I'm gonna tie like two things together. Right. So having good people around you, a good friend group, having people or a person that can hold you accountable. That's based off experience. Some people may not agree. That's just experience. Having people that you can hold accountable, you know what I'm saying? So, or that can hold you accountable. Those people are supposed to push you. If they're your real friends, if they're people that want to see you grow, that want to see you win, and want to win with you, type junk, like they're gonna push you to do better, and you should do vice versa, right?
Okay.
Have that accountability part.
Okay, bet. So for you, what are your thoughts on individuals who are living and the ones who are just existing? So like, what do you really feel like your true, honest opinion about people that are living and the people that are existing?
Oh, my thoughts, my true,
Yeah,
honest.
your true, honest thoughts, like giving it to the people really how it actually is.
Well, my true, honest thoughts, really, this for my existing people. Let me cross my leg for this, okay? People who are just existing, people who are just waking up, going to work, shit, shower, shave, and then going to sleep and repeat, right? What you scared of? Like, why are you scared? Why are you scared to get up and get out? Like, why are you scared to break away from that chain that everybody else is doing? Why are you being a follower? That's you. You're being a follower. Somebody told you, no, you're being brainwashed. That's what it is. Somebody told you that you had to go to school, get a good job, raise a family, and die. That's the cycle, is it not? Why would you listen to that bullshit? Why would you listen to that? That's BS. That really is. Like, you should do what you want to do in life. Like, if you have that gut feeling, like, dang, I want to be cutting somebody's hair right now. Maybe you should look into, school for cutting hair, like barber schools or cosmetology or whatever. Like, look into that stuff. Don't look into a college just because you need the grades, the GPA, to get a good job. Like, no, don't work to get a job. Like, don't go to school to get a job. Don't do anything to get a job. You should not want to be doing physical labor. That's not how you live. Living is not doing physical labor. It's not. Living is doing something that you love every single day. Or experiencing and growing every single day. That's living. Like, existing people, y'all, come on. Get them.
All right, so last question. We go ahead and wrap it up for the first episode. So, a lot of people are afraid of failure, and they think that failure and success is really a two-way street. So, do you feel like success and failure is a two-way street, or do you feel like more so you have to get through failure to succeed in a one-way street?
Yeah, man. I mean, failure, that's just a little bump in the road. Failure, like, people fail every day. I fail every day. I failed today at something. Every single day, somebody fails at something. Like, failure, that's part of life. You just gotta deal with it. Grow from it. That's where growth comes from failures. So, once you fail, okay, figure out, this what I did wrong. This what I need to do to make that better. So I'm gonna do it like this instead of doing it like this again. You know what I'm saying? Get better, grow from it, learn from it. It's growth. Failure.
Speaking of that, which honestly was, I've been doing a lot of reading lately, and I saw a quote, and it really touched me when she spoke about really failure, and it hit me like this, and it went a little like this. I forgot who it was. I can come back later and put it in the comments, but he said, if you knew you couldn't fail, how big would you really dream? And I think some of that flew over y'all heads, but let me break it down to you. If you really knew that you could not fail, and the only thing you could do was succeed, how big would you really dream? A lot of y'all would actually start to come out and be like, okay, I really want the Lambos, I really want the big house, I really want the 100K days, I really want $1 million every single month. Y'all dreaming so big because you know you can't fail. But since we live in a world where you have to fail in order to succeed, that's when we get scared and we start to hesitate on going forward. That's why we so comfortable being mediocre. We so comfortable being average. Why? We scared a little failure, we scared a little bump in the road like she said. We scared a little scratch and burns. I didn't know that's how we get down for real. You claim you hard in these streets, but you can't even succeed in the books. You can't concede your family. We claim that we doing stuff for other people, but in all honesty, we really selfish and we scared deep down inside. I don't know why, but it's something we gotta break out of. You're going to fail before you succeed. So I'm gonna say it one more time. If you knew you couldn't fail, how big would you dream? Right? So that wraps it up, man. Go ahead and give it a round of applause for the special guest, man, the D-Day Singletary. Oh, y'all will see her in the movies. Y'all will see her in the magazines. Y'all better watch out for her. She's not the one to be played with. But y'all already know, stay motivated, stay positive. It's your boy PJ. Dynamic Belief, and we out with it.